What's up, guys, to episode 6, part 1 of however many parts I need today. I left off the end of season 2, and I foreshadowed a little bit of season 3, so I'm going to go through that today, and I'll try to get around to finishing. I'm almost done with season 4's outline. I'll probably finish it tonight, and then I will probably upload it. I'll try to do it by Sunday or Monday, I guess. I have school tomorrow, so we'll see. I feel like I went a little too fast last episode, the last 3 parts. I was trying to rush through everything, so I'll see if I can try to wind that down a little bit, even though I know I'm still going to have multiple parts for these episodes. And especially, this season's going to venture a little off from what I did before. The first 2 seasons, obviously, if you've been watching this, you see that it's like building up to stuff. The 3rd season does, but it's in a different kind of build-up. Because I think I've said this in the first episode, I believe. The 3rd season is kind of like, I guess the best way I could describe it would be like a puzzle, where everything fits together. You'll understand what I'm trying to say when I'm getting through it. Anyway, the main characters of this season are Fozzie, who has been in the story since the first episode, I would think. Yeah. And Mackenzie. She has also been in the first, she's been in the story, since the first episode. And, also, this season is probably the most different from everything, because it kind of harkens back to how my book was. The season's really only half a year instead of like an entire year. The first 2 seasons were. Anyway, let me just get into it, and it'll make a little more sense when I talk about it. The way this is set up, like I said, it is still 16 episodes, like every other seasons I've gone through before. But where the first 2 seasons, like, the main characters really switched off, like, between episodes most of the time. This 3rd season, it's really 8 straight episodes of Fozzie, and then 8 straight episodes of Mac. And that there is a reason for that. And it's because of like how the way I'm telling the story. And basically what happens is, like I said in the last episode, the 2nd season ends with Jim getting an offer from his former bandmates to reform 281, his old boy band that he was originally part of a couple of years ago. And he hesitates at first to take the offer, but then he eventually does take it with the encouragement from the rest of his friends. So what happens is 8 Minutes gets to tag along and open for them. And in between the 2nd and 3rd season, Nat and Bella, actually, they already graduated at the end of the 2nd season, so they actually don't go with them, which is the reason in the 2nd season of having Tiny and Kim audition to replace those 2, at least as like the head singers. So basically it's like, so 8 Minutes tags along, and they're going to be playing, like, usually sans Jim, since he's going to be with the other band. And so the season 3, basically, unlike the first 2 seasons, take place in LA, or around LA. You'll see. This is probably like the most dramatic turn. Like I said, I've said it a lot of times, and I know that the first 2 seasons I tried to write it so that if I ever have the money or the needs to actually make it myself, I can shoot it right here. I live in, without giving too much away, I live in the suburbs of Houston, and technically I can shoot like the first 2 seasons here, but the third I really can't. If I ever am able to write this, obviously I'm writing it. If I'm ever able to make this into an actual web series like I want to, I would have to actually do a lot of stuff for season 3, and I know it's a lot of, it looks like it might be hard work, but I think it'll be worth it. Anyway, I have said too much about nothing yet. I'll try to get through some of Fozzie's stuff, then I'll finish it in the next episode. But if it does sound weird, because you have Fozzie's 8 chapters like all together and then Max, it's actually the same. Technically, it's the same 8 events. It's just it's told through 2 different perspectives. It's told through Fozzie at first, and then you go back to the beginning of the story, and you go through Mackenzie's point of view. And that's why I said that it sounds weird when I say that the first 8 chapters are all Fozzie and then it's Mac, but it'll make sense. It makes sense story-wise and how I'm trying to build this. But anyway, moving along, the first chapter starts with Fozzie, and it's like about a few weeks after Jim goes ahead and says yes to reforming 281. And so 8 minutes is, the rest of the band, they are trying to get ready, I guess. This is really their first big break in being able to open up for the biggest band they've been able to open up for, if at all. So it starts with Fozzie and the rest of the band. Who do I have? Sorry. It starts with 8 minutes. So you have Fozzie, obviously. You have Nick, who doesn't really play anything, but he's with them, obviously. You have Tiny, you have Raquel, you have Mac, who's there for whatever reason. You have Kim, and obviously Jim's with them. This is really just like, it sets up like them ready, getting prepared, and them hopping on the flight to LA, and it sets off the motion of Fozzie first admitting that he does have feelings for Mackenzie. I know that I've done this before. I've had Jim fall for Nat, and then obviously you had the whole thing with Nick and all this stuff in the second season. But this is a little bit different in the sense that I believe that this story between Fozzie and Mac is going to be the hardest for me to write because it's going to be so detailed. This is probably going to be the hardest season for me to write because I have to work really hard on it. I mean, not that the other seasons are easy, but anyway. So yeah, it just goes through Fozzie's point of view. He's talking with, he's with Nick and he's with whoever on the plane ride, and him basically asking Nick, being like, I need help. I need something. I need your help with this. And Nick's like, you know what? I have my own stuff to deal with, but I'll do my best. And I believe I'm about to run out of time, so I'll hit the next part next. Sorry.